I'm GamerOrder1986 and this is Gamers Corner. It's this little mini series of basically, well, it's all about gaming and news and stuff like that, and my opinions and sort of big, deep and meaningful discussions. And this time, or rather for the first episode, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the future of GTA and what the future of GTA is to me, and what probably will end up happening when the next GTA is released. Now, obviously, we haven't really got that much of confirmation yet from Rockstar. We haven't got any hints. We've had a few speculation topics, like where is it going to be located, what the main character is going to be, and is it going to be a bigger game, or is it going to be the same size as Grand Theft Auto 5? Is it going to be, full of the features that we know now, or is it not? So that's kind of like the main topic in this little segment. Also, I might be talking a little bit about a proposition for GTA Online content, so be sure to stay tuned for that. So, yeah, the future of GTA. Now, in my opinion, GTA is one of the most influential franchises out of all of them, and it really goes to show how much gamers really enjoy Grand Theft Auto games, because there's plenty of good examples of games from the Grand Theft Auto series. I mean, you could take any game they've ever made, and pretty much anyone would like them. And they're all. None of them have really been panned by critics. Nobody's really hated them at all. The only main criticism of them is probably the violence, and maybe the use of hard drugs, and whether that's okay. Whether it's okay to even be shown to audiences, and whether it's a controversial subject. But I think controversial games need to exist anyway. To the future, a lot of speculation going around. I've seen a lot in the past 2-3 years. So round about, I'd say 2014 is when we really started to speculate about Grand Theft Auto 6 and whether or not, it would be kind of. Well, most people would say that it's going to be in Vice City, because we haven't even returned to that location since 2006, I think. Maybe 2005? Yeah, so basically in Vice City Stories, that's the last time we ever went to Vice City. There have been numerous references to Vice City throughout 4 and 5, and even some of the other games previously. And with all the hype, I remember there was a very early speculation about it being in Portland, Oregon, and someone I think that was just a joke, really. I mean, come on. I mean, sure, someone actually made a map that what it could look like, but then, I think we could all tell there was something fishy about that. So that's not yet been confirmed in any way, but we can't really deny it. I mean, it's more unlikely than anything else, but it could happen. It is possible at this point. Pretty much anything is possible. There's also a little bit of controversy about the release date, and some people are confused as to when it's actually coming out. Well, if we think about it logically, how many years did it take for Rockstar to release GTA 5 from GTA 4? Well, 2008, I think, or 2007. So we say around 7 years. Around 7 years of. I want to say around 7 years. But, that would be more. About 6, 7, maybe shorter than that actually, because maybe the new technology these days is a lot easier to work with when developing big games such as these ones. Although that's a little bit unclear. So, is the future of GTA bright or is it dark? That's the big question, because there's so many games that are coming out very soon that aren't really well anticipated. I mean, no one really got too excited for them. Red Dead Redemption 2 I think is Rockstar's big project at the moment, and they're also continuing with online features as well, so that's definitely a good thing that they haven't forgotten about Grand Theft Auto Online, but I think they need to. It's a bit controversial, this subject, because obviously it relies completely on whether you think it's worth it developing Red Dead Redemption 2 whilst you're doing GTA online content for Grand Theft Auto 5. I think it's pretty much, it's a case of whether you like Red Dead Redemption the series. I personally have never played it. I was planning on maybe playing the second one, the one that's coming out soon. I'm not really excited for it per se. I mean, to be honest, the series has never really interested me as much as GTA has, so I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are excited that Red Dead Redemption 2 is finally coming. I mean, we've probably been waiting quite a long time for this game, and I'm really happy that Rockstar's, setting its sights on new grounds, in particular, trying to win back those fans from their other works. But then there's the question of whether, there's the question of whether or not that this content they're releasing now is good or bad. Now, a lot of us really just enjoy the content in general, even if it's got obvious flaws or it's not very interesting, like the whole of this footage is right now. I might switch over to another game quite soon, but this is just Gamers Corner. It's just a small segment where I talk about news and stuff like that, but it's all to do with what gamers are thinking right now. We'll extend on some of these new topics, and if you'd like me to talk about something, please put it down in the comments below. I'll be sure to listen to every single comment and try to answer all of your questions. Just make sure it's an interesting topic and one that people can get invested in and people can understand. So the other topics I was mentioning are probably on the GTA content side of things, and what that really means is I'm continuing with the Let's Plays of GTA 3, obviously, and Vice City is it's starting to really go off the idea of Let's Play that, because in all fairness, what really makes the game, I think, much more interesting. What really makes the game much more interesting in terms of its setting is the music, because it's all music from the era that the game is setting. And I think without that music for you to listen to, and obviously me getting potential copyright claims from YouTube, I don't really want them to kind of mess up the footage. I don't want them to mute it or do anything like that with it. And unfortunately, until fair use kicks in, we really can't, get this kind of content online or on any website, which is debatable. It's debatable on whether or not copyright is a good thing or a bad thing, or is it just gone too far, really. That's a bit of a controversial subject that can probably upset a lot of people, especially those of you who own your own content. Like, for example, there's a lot of famous YouTubers who have movies and books and other such stuff that are genuinely they're very well copyrighted, they're very well looked after by law, and I'm sure they will support the idea of copyright. However, I don't know, it's different for everyone and what your opinion is, because you wouldn't like to have your work stolen and someone else pass it off as their own. However, you'd also like to share it with people, and if people can't access it, through these Let's Plays, and even then you're only playing a small snippet of what's going on, then, Anyway, as regards to the GTA content, yes, there's gonna be, this isn't a solemn promise, but there's probably gonna be a kind of a an online series, I guess, for GTA Online, and I'm not really sure how it's going to work out. It's a potential idea that I'm putting forward, and it's just a small kind of concept that someone else dreamed up, someone else other than myself just dreamed up, and it's rather interesting of a thing. Does anyone know what Top Gear is? Top Gear, it's a show about motor cars and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's probably gonna, since cars are so linked to GTA, it's a potential idea. I mean, there has been a few parodies of some of the Top Gear episodes online, and there have also been some serious things to do with those little series, and you know, whether or not you actually will enjoy it. It's always been a dream of mine to kind of fulfill my friend's dream, because he doesn't really do videos anymore. We were thinking about it, but it kind of failed the first time round, so hopefully if the channel gets more popular, only if, however, I will definitely consider doing a series like that if I'm able to get an able crew together to actually record the footage, because it is going to be separate footage. It's probably not going to be live streamed, but I guess it has to be rehearsed. But anyway, that's probably not going to come unless anybody that I know would like to help with that. It's quite a big request, really, because it encompasses a lot of GTA's vehicles and relies heavily on people even having the cars in the first place, and you know how expensive they can get. But I'm sure we'll be able to work something out. The videos might take a while to come up because of all the editing that'll be required, and just to make it more of a like a proper episode, for example, with different camera angles and all sorts of camera work going in. Yeah, it'll be pretty challenging, but if the channel gets popular enough, I will definitely start doing it at least, and then if it progresses on from there, then definitely a good sign. So, this has been Gamers Corner. Oh no. Okay. Before I forget, the Straw Human Steel Let's Play, if you're wondering what's up with that, I am as well. I am not really sure if I should even continue that, because I don't know if I should replace all the old videos with, well, some of the old videos anyway, the ones that are covered in there with the new ones, and just pass it off as the rest of it, because it was of decent quality from that point onwards. Even though I would like to improve the quality of things, I really can't, because I'm really stuck on this mission, and I can't really promise that I'll get it done on camera, and it's just so annoying because I want to show you everything and it just ends up being a whole mess. So forgive me if I decide not to continue it, but that's just a topic for another day. This has been Gamers Corner with me, Gamer Order 1986. Hopefully we'll have a bit more content next time. See you around.